And now, will everyone please rise for the academic procession? Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and welcome Cal State LA student Desiree Gonzalez, who will sing the National Anthem, accompanied by the Cal State LA Brass Quintet.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets right there, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag
Please be seated. Good afternoon, students, honored family members, and friends. My name is Rami Meisami, and I'm the Dean of College of Business and Economics. Welcome to the 2018 commencement ceremony. Over the course of your academic career, our faculty, administration, and staff have focused their attention on your success. They have become your mentors, and many of them your colleagues. At this time, I would like to acknowledge and thank the Chair of the Academic Senate, Veena Prabhu, the members of the faculty, emeriti faculty, and staff representing the university's 6 colleges. Also, the John F. Kennedy Memorial Library and the administration for the contribution to our students' success. I'd also like to welcome our special guest, alumnus, and former Los Angeles County Superintendent, Mike Antonovich. Will these members of the university community please stand and be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. Please join me in welcoming the President of Cal State LA, William A. Covino.
Well, congratulations, class of 2018. Let me ask first, just a question for you. How many of you here, let me know, how many of you here are the first in your family to receive a university degree? How many? All right, a lot of hands. That's great. That's great. You've worked hard for this accomplishment, all of you. You've persevered, you've excelled, and today we're here to celebrate you and all that you've achieved and all that is yet to come. This is a very significant chapter in the story of your life. During your life here, we witnessed world-changing moments together. California became the world's 5th largest economy, expanding opportunities that await you as you graduate. Political changes on the national scene created new priorities and new challenges. And the voices of students determined to serve the public good became an even more impactful force for change. During your time here, advances in technology gave us new power, new potential, new business models. Technology is fueling innovative forms of entrepreneurship and the sharing economy. Our day-to-day life has altogether become more full of possibilities for personal growth and more full of tools to solve the vexing problems of our time. And you, class of 2018, you are the creators of tomorrow. And during your time here, you also experienced a personal transformation, a transformation as profound as the events that we lived through together. You're not the same person that you were when you set foot on campus. You came here with a plan to learn more, to focus your major on a career path, perhaps to embark on a new one. And you will leave Cal State LA with knowledge and experiences that will propel you forward in your careers or in research, certainly into a great future. I hope you'll always remember the faculty who taught and mentored you and helped you to become the accomplished graduate you are today, along with the friends who encouraged you and the community that embraced you. You shared in important events in the life of this university community. Together, we celebrated Cal State LA's 70th anniversary. We launched new initiatives. We stood in the spotlight when a study in the New York Times ranked Cal State LA #1 in the nation for the upward mobility of our students. So graduates, that recognition alone, along with everything else that you've acquired here, means that a prosperous future awaits you. And parents, get ready for this. The day is coming when your graduate will pay the bill when the family goes out to dinner, all right? Your parents seem to like that idea. Today, you become alumni of Cal State LA. You joined the ranks of more than 245,000 alumni of Cal State LA and 3 million alumni of the California State University system. Our outstanding alumni include tennis legend Billie Jean King, Congresswoman Maxine Waters, Congresswoman Lucille Roybal Allard, astronaut Samuel T. Durance, the creator of Bratz dolls, Isaac Larian, Dr. Sumanta Pal, the director of the Kidney Cancer Program and Medical Oncology at City of Hope Hospital, and members of the family that owns Porto's Bakery. So now all of these great people are your fellow alums. And the class of 2018 includes 106 veterans who've served our nation with valor and then returned to earn a degree. I would like to ask all of the veterans in the room here, parents, sisters and brothers, grandparents, nieces, nephews, etc., all the veterans here and among our graduating class, to please stand up and let us recognize you. Everybody. Thank you very much. The College of Business and Economics is a nationally renowned college, ranked among the top 10 in California by U.S. News and World Report. And our expert, distinguished faculty has taught you to bring new perspectives and fresh ideas and high ambitions to your future endeavors. They've prepared you for 21st century careers in global business and in the local business community. This college is home to the Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation, which hosts Entrepreneurship Week and the annual Fast Pitch competition that help LA startups and businesses get off the ground. It's home to a career placement center that has provided you with rewarding internships and employment with partners that include the Creative Artist Agency, Jet Propulsion Lab, Boeing, Disney, Southern California Edison, and Pepsi. Students among you include J.P. Aguirre, who has learned to succeed in the world of business and learned the value of serving others. J.P. tapped into his experience. There he is, he's standing right there. J.P. tapped into his experience studying finance at Cal State LA to launch a startup company with his sister that sells handmade sandals. A portion of those sales are used to help Mexican nationals who were deported from the U.S. and are stranded at the border. Their company purchases bus tickets for deportees hoping to return to their families across Mexico. JP, who is a resident of Boyle Heights and an immigrant, was inspired to start his company because of his experiences as an intern with the LA City Employees Retirement System. His focus on social impact investing, putting money behind ideas and businesses that serve others, illustrates Cal State LA's ethos of engagement and service for the public good. JP excelled in his studies at Cal State LA. He was a member of the Beta Gamma Sigma Honor Society, made the Dean's List. He also served as president of the Financial Management Association on campus and founded the Association for Climate Action and Education for Sustainability and Adaptable Resources. Today, JP graduates magna cum laude with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and an option in finance and a minor in economics. And he is headed to Delaware, where he will begin a job at J.P. Morgan Chase & Company, and he will continue to find ways to serve others. JP, congratulations. And we have students like Keisha Herrera of Southgate, who have achieved academic success fueled by their desire to help their community and to serve as role models. Keisha was involved in student clubs, including the Accounting Society, the Association of Latino Professionals for America, and Toastmasters. She made the Dean's List while working, serving as an assistant manager for a soccer league, volunteering at an elementary school, and raising her 7-year-old son. Not much time for sleep, right, Keisha? Inspired by the sacrifices of her grandmother who raised her, Keisha wants her success to serve as an example to others. Today, Keisha graduates cum laude with a Bachelor of Science in Business Administration and an option in accounting. She has been accepted into the Master of Business Taxation program at USC and will begin in the fall. Congratulations, Tisa. So graduates, you are headed to communities that you will, like JP and Keisha, energize and empower with all that you've learned, with the Cal State LA values that you carry, with your experiences as part of this rich intellectual community. That's why today's commencement is such a monumental day for communities across Los Angeles and all the way to Delaware, or for wherever you call home. When you walk across the stage, you're not just walking for yourself, you're walking for the places you love. And our love for LA was expressed pretty dramatically last month when we launched the greatest fundraising effort in the university's history. We call this effort We Are LA, the campaign for Cal State LA. We chose that because graduates of Cal State LA represent the best of Los Angeles, because of the dedication and knowledge that you're carrying with you wherever you're headed, wherever you will live and work, the people in those places and the places themselves can look forward to an even better future because of what you will bring to it. So you're walking today for the places you love, and you're also walking for the people you love. You didn't accomplish this important goal alone. Those who you love inspired and motivated you, and helped see you on your way. And with that in mind, let me ask all the mothers and fathers of our graduates to stand so we can congratulate you. All right, now you stay standing, and we want to add the grandmothers and grandfathers. Grandmothers and grandfathers stand as well. How about the aunts and uncles? The sisters and brothers? The nieces and nephews? The spouses? The children? And all the friends of the class of 2018. Thank you all very much. Thank you all very much for helping to make this day possible for these graduates. So, graduates, you must have figured out by now that in the story of your life, this is indeed an unforgettable chapter. Today, you stand on the peak of a great mountain, and you've climbed it. From that peak, you're looking at the world and you're looking at your future. Around you, you see other mountains higher than the one you're on. And they represent other goals and challenges. Along with all that you've accomplished, you now face those goals and challenges. My advice to you is, don't be daunted by the heights of your dreams and challenges. During your time here, you've learned how to reach the top. Always remember, you are a golden eagle, and you will soar. Congratulations, class of 2018.
Thank you, President Covino. Before I go on, I'd like to acknowledge our special guest, who is an alumnus and former Los Angeles County Supervisor, Mike Antonovich, in the VIP section. Okay. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Castillo de la Rocha, who is the Chief Executive Officer and President of Altamed Health Services Corporation. And he is a trailblazer in the healthcare industry. Under his supervision and leadership, Altamed has transformed from a storefront burial clinic in East Los Angeles into one of the largest federally funded healthcare centers in the nation. Mr. De La Rocha built an essential resource for millions of underserved residents in Southern California. And he created a model of excellence for healthcare centers and communities everywhere. His innovative whole community approach to healthcare has earned him national recognition. For example, he has received the U.S. Surgeon General's Medallion for Public Health, the Los Angeles Business Journal Lifetime Achievement Award, and the Leader in Action Award from the Prime Program at the David Geffen School of Medicine at UCLA. In 2017, he was honored with the Medallion of Excellence from the Congressional Hispanic Caucus. Mr. De La Rocha holds a Juris Doctor from Bolt Hall School of Law at University of California, Berkeley, a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science from the University of California, Santa Barbara, and a certificate in management from Stanford University. Please join me in welcoming Mr. De La Rocha.
Good afternoon, and congratulations again to the class of 2018. Felicidades, congratulations to all of you. As I sat here and listened to the remarks of your president and saw the audience, I was reminded not long ago when I sat in my living room with my wife and children, talking a little bit about our pleasures in movies. And as my wife shared the story with my older son, Remy de la Rocha, who was a graduate from this university, big guy, he's over 6 feet tall, a big husky guy. He's sitting there with me, and my wife says, you know, your husband, your father rather, he gets a little romantic with these movies, you know, these love movies. And he gets so romantic once in a while, he begins to cry with these movies. And of course, my son works at Altamira. I got 3,000 employees. My son turns around, hey, Dad, just make sure none of the employees hear that from anybody, eh? Because you can't get emotional. But I gotta tell you, this event already has me at the verge of tears. I am overwhelmed by the success that each of you have achieved. You, as graduates and as students, what you've been able to do. You, the parents, the grandparents, the families that have supported this. I recall, as a young student, when I graduated from Roosevelt High School here in Boyle Heights, and I took my first step at the University of California in Santa Barbara in 1967. At that time, there were close to 16,000 students at the university. There were 20 of us that were Latinos on that campus. There were 40 that were minority on that campus of 16,000. Look at you today. Look around you. This brings tears to my eyes. Congratulations to all of you for what you have achieved. I understand that this group contains the future CFOs and business world consultants. And I cannot overstate the idea that we will need you. Some of you may be familiar with my organization and may have seen or visited some of our medical or dental offices around in our community. A number of our employees have been graduates from this school and this university or are currently students at this university. For those of you that are not familiar with AltaMed, we are a very large community health center, one of the largest in the state of California, and one of the largest community health centers in the United States. We began as a single clinic in East Los Angeles, and it took us decades to grow into what we are today. I expect that most of you would not go into healthcare or even the nonprofit sector, at least I hope that some of you would entertain that idea. My own career happened somewhat by accident. After immigrating here from Chihuahua, Mexico, as a child, attending Roosevelt High School in the Boyle Heights area, attending law school in San Francisco and at Berkeley, I stumbled on a chance prospect and joined a handful of people leading a very small free clinic, the same clinic where I started many years ago. What began as an opportunity to fulfill a need eventually became my life's mission. Sometimes there is no planning your career in advance because opportunities find their way to you. When they do, I hope you grab them. Regardless of what you pursue or whether you use the specialty listed on your degree, it is important that you constantly develop what I refer to as your soft skills. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a bit. But over the last decade, we have seen a push for STEM education and the inclusion of technology on nearly everything, from medicine to food to the auto industry to entertainment. Many of you already know this because you have largely grown up having to incorporate technology in everything that you do and every single day. We need to be technically savvy because technology will advance with us or without us. That is a matter of fact. But we also need to embrace the talents and interests that makes us unique from one another and really develop those areas. You can be the most intelligent person in the room, but with the ability to listen respectfully, to think critically, and provide honest and creative solutions, to read people and know when you may overstep boundaries. These are skills that will take you in life a lot further. If you are fortunate enough to be in a position of hiring your own team at work, you must recognize that there is a diverse range of people available to you with a diverse range of skills and interests. Again, just look right next to you and see the talent, see the interest, see the skill, and the diversity that you find at this great university. Building a team means recognizing that a successful business needs both leaders, followers, and a bit of cynicism to keep any progress honest. You need people to point out where there is room for improvement, especially if you are passionate about your product. You need problem solvers to respond to criticism and to develop solutions. You need good communicators because you need people who can read and speak and promote the services and share your ideas effectively. In the healthcare sector, we know that technology has made it possible for people to keep track of their own health. Some of us wear Fitbits or have the Apple Watch. We track steps, we track heart rates, and we track our calories. We have personal genomic companies to test our saliva and tell us what disease we are at risk of developing and what gene variances we have. We have apps to help us narrow down our symptoms so that we can decide whether we are sick enough to seek the care of a physician. Just 12 years ago, 15 years ago, this would not have been possible. And we would never make a decision of this type alone. And by the way, if we decide that we're sick, we can demand in a matter of minutes, with the use of telemedicine and telehealth, to see a physician through the use of smartphone and telemedicine. Prior to 2007, this never would have been an option. But we just need people to help develop these options, to help them and to be able to market these options. And it takes a village generally to build these kind of products. We need the creative team to dream up the ideas, the marketing team to research where the demand for the product will be, and to shape the campaign that convinces the public that this product fulfills that demand. But those of you graduating today, the accountants, the finance staff, you'll be the ones that not only make sure that the company has the resources to fulfill the demands for a product, but to plan ahead and calculate the risks and potential payoffs once a product is in the works. Your role will be extremely important to the sustainability of your company. For those of you leaving this university with an eye set on finance, business economics, or entrepreneurship, I have no doubt that many of you are realists. You already know that you can only be an idealist as far as your resources will allow you. As far as your resources will allow you. It reminds me, 25 years ago, at Ultimate Health Services Corporation, as I entered my corporate offices, it was a small building, but as you enter the reception area, on one side was finance, accounting, and we had some billing sections and the like. On the other side were where my executives were at. So people sort of referred to as reality land on the left and la la land on the right. And guess where I was? I was Mr. La La all the way, okay? I was the idealist. I was the guy, the visionary. How do you create a billion-dollar company on an idea, on a concept, on a vision? How is it possible that we, after 40 years, have built a billion-dollar company based on social justice, based on creating equity and eliminating disparities in communities in need? How is it that on social justice you built a business? It is because of the financial people, the people who brought reality to what I was doing. It is that joint venture between finance and the creative aspect of a company. It has been an incredible journey, and a journey that I would never, ever change. In the world of healthcare, as in any business, we have to pay attention to what we have to work with in terms of finances as well as staffing and space. A perfectly good example of that is what we have done with the Affordable Health Care Act. The Affordable Health Care Act, over the course of the last several years, has allowed us to add as much as 100,000 new patients to the rows of Ultimate. People who had perhaps never been insured were finally able to afford insurance. A mandate meant that healthy residents now had a real incentive to buy insurances, bringing down the overall cost of insurances to the entire population. I am going to remind you that as graduates, and as you now move on to adulthood, if I may, that one other responsibility that's important to each and every one of you is to always be concerned about your health and to be able to insure against any accident or against any unforeseen illnesses that may occur. As a leader, you also have that responsibility because I think that as future leaders, we have a responsibility to assure that all Americans have access to health care. So I highly encourage you, as you move forth, to look at ways of maintaining coverage in the things that you do. Each one of us has a social responsibility to stay covered. The more people we have contributing to the pot, the lower healthcare costs will be to all of us. And the more people we have contributing, the more likely we are to continue to fund and to grow as a successful financial entity. From a financial perspective, we have to know, you need to know your limits and what you are capable of accomplishing. As a team leader and as someone who oversees the big pictures of business, you can dream up all kinds of ideas you like, but you must understand that you have at your fingers, or at least within your reach, the resources that you need. Graduates, before I go, I want to leave you with one more piece of advice. You have more opportunities to learn than anyone before you. Higher education can be pricey, no question about that. And I know that some of you are entering this world with debt to manage. Be grateful to those who believed in you, and we acknowledge the parents and the village that supported you to be here. But you also have resources like YouTube, online courses and forums, and public libraries, as well as free and affordable classes available to you. These are great equalizers. In 2018, we have the opportunity to teach ourselves what we don't know, anything at all. So never stop reading, never stop learning, and never, ever stop investing in yourself. Your education can take you all sorts of places if you never let it in. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. De La Rocha. Among the students earning baccalaureate degrees are those who will graduate with academic honors. Dr. Angela Young, Associate Dean in College of Business and Economics, will acknowledge those students.
Thank you. The university grants the baccalaureate degree with Latin designations, summa cum laude, magna cum laude, or cum laude, to students who have maintained an outstanding academic record while earning their degree. These students wear gold braids draped on their black gowns to mark their outstanding academic achievements. Will the candidates for graduation with honors please rise and be recognized? Thank you. Please be seated. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce the Chief Academic Officer of the university, Dr. Lynn Mahoney, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dr. Mahoney.
President Covino, I present to you the candidates for degrees in the College of Business and Economics. They have met all of the requirements for their respective degrees and are recommended by the faculty who taught them.
Bachelor of Science, Business Administration, Accounting.
Okay, the candidates for baccalaureate degrees will now be presented on stage.
Narina Sarkisian.
Angeline Ha Tran.
Rosel Benitez. Ruby Chung.
Lynette Shimirian.
David Stephen Guerra.
Kenneth Chan Ing.
Natalia Torres.
Kristen Brittany Wong.
Trudy Santos.
Valerie Renee Rivera.
Kim Pham.
Griselda Noemí Nuno Jaime.
Kenia Hernandez Osorio.
Wing Xuen Ho.
Jing Liu.
Winnie Wu.
Kang Yi Zhao.
Jingyu Sheng.
Cameron Clark Wharton.
Ni Sok.
Yahaira Arenas.
Yu Wang.
Kina Pan.
Chao Hua Liang.
Ying Ying Lin.
Kyuxia Mo.
Yulun Han.
Shi Yu Wang.
Jacqueline Rocha.
Andrew David Gersten.
Carla Janet Ramirez.
Arvin Nazari.
Eric Alexander Figueroa.
Terry Lee Flexer Jr.
Ernesto Alonso Benitez.
Linda Panay.
Eric Gonzalez.
Stanley Joe.
Andy Vital.
Kevin Chen.
Jose Alberto Flores Olguin.
Shirley Ho.
Erlindo Nicanor.
Joseph Penunia.
Darren Tran Yen.
David Dang.
Edith de Santiago.
Karina Morua Guerrero.
Angelica Moreno.
Myron Chan.
Sora Cusano.
Cesar David Dominguez.
Anciris Salas Zaragoza.
José Antonio Chávez.
Apu Rahman Minhas.
Luis David Cruz.
Charlotte Hang Lei.
Boram Bao.
Lily Vuong.
Mary Louise Estefano.
Jeremy Bax.
Fernando Casas.
William Sun.
Juan Antonio Carrillo Jr.
Jesus Rodas.
Tao Vu.
Keisha Herrera.
Caro Boyajian.
Nok Can Tran.
Narek Gazarian.
Rachel Laframboise.
Liliana Guadalupe Rodriguez.
Mariela Peña.
Aida Shabande Mazihi.
Victor Wong.
Erica C. Nee.
Neil Cordero Angeles.
Tara Nicole.
Fabiola Herrera.
Emily Wong.
Cesar Serna.
Daniel Favela.
Freddie Argumedo.
Larry Kwang Go.
Jerry Santiago.
Kenny Chen.
Christina Estrada.
Taylor Marie Roberts.
Patrick Salutan Silveo.
Karis Patricia Waddell.
Christian Alberto Ardone.
Manisha Ayla Peruma.
Eric Escobar.
Danny Sao.
John Christopher Castillo Davalos.
Sandman Ta.
Randall Justin Loriano.
John Hu.
Jane Michelle Klein.
Joshua Anthony Nolasco.
Morgan Rose Bratcher.
Ashley Ibal.
Teresia Tirachajaya.
Adrian Joshua Carrillo.
Catherine Ann Viva Guevara.
Jennifer Elizabeth Sandoval.
Catherine Roxana Diaz.
Ana Laura Mascorro.
Benjamin Bang.
Chelsea Rodriguez.
Jose de la Luz Ibarra Jr.
Vivian Vernice Alvarez.
Deandra Ilan Blissett.
Seaway Law.
Liang Ren Zhen.
Yen Yen E.
Hong Tang.
Vekant Tahir Sami.
Diana Azad Akaward.
Tong Wang.
Lisette Gutierrez.
Bianca Marie Cortez Insigne.
Javier Reollo Olazabal.
Alfredo Justo.
Denise Martinez.
Richard Martin Alderete.
Marie D'Antonio.
Timothy Burl Dvorak.
Angel Michelle Nunez.
April Elizabeth Wandry.
Rosa Lucero Vera.
Luzalen Adela Morales.
Abraham Cho.
Zhao Ling Chen.
Henry Chalakian.
Anthony Valderrama.
Liza Chaudhry.
Monira Sultana Khan.
Maria Leisha Cruz Quison.
Troy Joseph Gonzalez.
Farhana Bolat.
Genesis Gutierrez.
Crystal Lee.
Refugio Lopez Jr.
June Ma.
V. Tran.
Van Na Tran.
Susan Lin.
Tien Mai.
Iyad Adnan El Khatib.
Nestor Nunez.
Alberto F. Preciado.
Eric Ortiz Rosas.
Ashley Nicole Garcia.
King To Young.
Timothy Yip.
Natalie Rebecca Jacome Villalba.
Patrick Hita.
Bowie Frederick Magbu Basaya.
Juan Francisco Espinosa.
Pedro Ariza.
Jose Cruz Jr.
Judy Ang.
Suet Wa Ai.
Ka Yi Leong.
Chi Cheng Sharon Ing.
Crystal Siwan Tang.
Stephen Chia.
Megan Tiwan Lee.
Ida Shahinian.
Carla Suzette Grajeda.
Norma Karina Ortiz.
Ana Carolina Montano.
Michelle Yu.
Linda Darlette Estrada.
Bia T. Mariano.
Charles Ortavius Edward Patterson.
Marianda Trina Hicks.
Wei Chang Ho.
Van Nguyen.
Diana Ruby Carbajal.
Rigaud Paul Luzolo Mazani.
Magali Aquino.
Edith Beatriz Chavez.
Esmeralda Garcia.
Kino Vitancol.
Josue Enriquez.
Melissa Rosalba Hernández.
Laura Alvarado.
Guadalupe Alvarado.
Isa Marisol Hernandez.
Steve Parra.
Omar Valdez.
Luis Alberto Jaime Ponce.
Sergio Ulises Marroquín.
Vanessa Gloria Rivero.
Andrew Brian Solorzano.
Guillermo de Santiago Gudiño.
Norma Noemi Sierra Oregel.
Wanan Wang.
Juan Aguilera.
Amy Hoa Lam.
Tao Pham.
Karina Salazar Mejía.
Aisha Khan.
Tarek Y. Nasser.
Benjamin Rincon.
Bachelor of Science, Business Administration, Business Economics.
Daniel Victor Pina.
Shane Hayes.
Ricky Hong.
Cynthia Darlene Villegas.
Daniel Nahera.
Pablo Esteban Martinez.
Hector Santiago Chavarria.
Jasmary Amanda Reyes Lemus.
Victor Anthony Sierra.
Bachelor of Science, Business Administration, Finance.
Hambartsum Aitayan.
Andres Ramirez.
Juan Carlos Hernandez.
Areg Ezagolian.
Luis Ricardo Seañez.
Ricardo Paredes.
Alexander Melgar.
Raúl Aro.
Logan Philip Martin.
Finance. Alice Deborah Monday.
Narina Clemens.
Alan Vasquez.
Eric Miles Lynn.
Eros Giovanni Velasquez.
David Chavak.
Arthur Bagramian.
Matthew Hu.
Kevin Zong.
Rico Angelo Moreno II.
Denise Campos.
Priscilla Louise Akiza.
Justin Van Orden.
Jose Gustavo Hernandez Jr.
Trinidad M. Campos.
Conrado Bravo.
Brandon Murrell.
Eric Kachik.
Luigi Rafael Zhang Feng.
Sonia Christina Patel.
Evan Marcus Perez.
Roselio Montes.
Luisine Andreas.
Arine Misropian.
Serene Piri.
Ariane Nikita Aline.
King Lee.
Stephanie Corcoran.
Jyoti Nadaya Jogoraja.
Vanessa Cisneros.
Cyrene Fitri Sandunk.
Jose Angel Barraza Jr.
Jessica Lynn Salerno.
Vanji Vega Herrera.
Christina Ann Phipps.
Christine Colindres.
Terry Lee Sterling Jr.
Bryce James Killian.
Sean Loyola Burke.
Kenya Elizabeth Lopez.
Melody Flores.
Elizabeth Amaya.
Evelyn Tan Chung.
Cesar San Pedro.
Nomen Sonomgun Bayarsakan.
Maria Rufino.
Efren Fuentes.
Jeremy Salazar.
Meline Arakilian.
Edison Fabian Villafuerte Jr.
Barney Chi.
Julio Cesar Tomas.
Appelian.
William San Lamb.
Gary Ing.
Aaron Liu.
Cynthia Mendoza.
Loris Kashishian.
Brian Jerome Phillips.
Edgar Andre Morales.
Ryan Wesley Watase.
Tiffany Alberic Mikoto.
Nicholas Hirata.
Yina Mi.
Chen Chen.
Jacqueline Joanna Garcia.
Rudy Alvarez.
Dustin Go.
To Rafael Teshomi.
Jomar Kavin Sipin Martinez.
Ryan Wayne Capas.
Richard Lozano.
Noel Gonzalez.
Juan Pablo Aguirre.
Sarah Lynn Smith.
Robert Gerard Tabamo.
Arturo Vargas.
Nisa J. Jimenez.
Pamela Yamilet Anaya.
Jasmine Ortega.
Cheryl Ramirez.
Cesar Eduardo Rincon.
Thomas Joshua Casares.
Christian Pena.
Brian Ductong Wen.
Nicole Sochi Ruiz.
Thomas Visay.
Elizabeth Morales.
Ashley Chor.
Joshua Quentin Amadeus Luthi.
Alan Ramirez.
Megan Trong.
Paul Beck.
Andy Tam.
Kiori Komatsu.
Juan Carlos Galindo.
Carlos Omar Sanchez.
Teresa Josephine Alcala.
David Ogomori.
Dwight Aniel Morales.
Justin Henry Jang.
Javier Vasquez.
Alexis Antonio Benitez.
Alan Bautista.
Jerry A. Galicia.
Matthew David Rentz.
Edgar Navarro.
Alejandra Torres.
Tanapori Westnupa.
Andrew Lara.
Leslie Naomi Orellana.
Celine Ramirez.
Joshua Lorenzo Sanders Taxon.
Stephen Albert Arambolo Bayutas.
Moises Cuevas Jr.
Luis Zaragoza.
Frank Lizardea Jr.
Imelda Treto.
Carissa M. Cotton.
Hector Banuelos.
Jasmine Ruiz.
Perla Gonzalez.
Tiatian Wu.
Horan Jha.
Jefte Corridor.
Jerry Anthony Valencia.
Jose Nicolás Pérez Lara.
Eric Hua.
Dylan Muradian.
Cecilia Isabel Garcia.
Jolie Pham.
Duan Phan.
Lauren Ashley Collins.
Brandon Sean Arlington.
Is that an earthquake? What is that? All right. All right. Let's make this official. Will the candidates for baccalaureate degrees please rise? By the authority vested in me by the State of California and the trustees of the California State University, I hereby confer upon you the baccalaureate degree for which you qualify with all the rights, privileges, and honors pertaining thereto. Now, it's time to move the tassel from the right to the left. Congratulations.
All right, congratulations again. Just a couple more minutes. I would like to thank all of the university staff, faculty, students, and volunteers who were involved in organizing the 2018 commencement ceremony, and acknowledge the members of the Honors Convocation and Commencement Advisory Committee. At this time, the university hymn will be performed by Cal State LA student Desiree Gonzalez, and she will be accompanied by the Cal State LA Brass Quintet. The lyrics may be found in your program.